Hey, welcome to episode 3 of the best episodes of Credit 101. The real episode of Credit 101 is episode 8. So, what I did was I recorded 206 episodes of Credit 101 and I found 30 of my best ones, which is why we have the best episodes of Credit 101. It's 30 of them total. And I created a lot of downloads for them. So, if you guys are watching in the membership, you guys should see them all. So I created a lot of downloads for all of these great episodes that I love the most so that you guys can actually be able to learn more or learn deeper about these different subjects, because I think they're the best episodes because they're needed. Like, you need to put this in your head. As much as I need to put it in my head, you guys need to do the same thing. So I created these different episodes, and this is episode 3. If you guys don't already have the course that I created for Credit 101, go ahead and look down below. All the downloads I'm gonna talk to you guys about is over 40 different downloads that you guys can use. And it's dispute letters in there, checklists in there, a lot of different guides with valuable information, a lot of different worksheets that you guys can fill out, such as the one that we're going to go over now. It's all down below in the description for the Credit 101 course. And it's $1 to get in there, so it's no reason why you're not in there. If you guys already have the course because you're watching it now, thank you so much. I have more details down in the description to tell you guys how to understand each one of them. And if you guys have any additional questions, you guys can always leave a comment within the course and I'll answer that comment. But definitely, guys, go ahead and get the course. It's down below in the dollar trial. Now, in this episode, we're talking about understanding your actual credit report. So you need to know what's inside your credit report, and you need to know why it matters. So I actually have something that's going to break down your credit report, and I'm going to tell you some things on why these different things matter, because some stuff you may overlook, but you need to know why these different things matter and why this information should be reporting a certain way. So let's go ahead and check out that analysis guide that's going to actually tell you why these different things are going to really matter to you. So we're going to actually do this worksheet. So it's an actual worksheet that you guys can actually fill out. And we're going to only do step number 1. I believe it's 8 of them total, though. Actually, it's 9 total. And it's fillable. Just fill it all in, you guys. And if you guys are in the course, it says, hey, this section is for this. If you find these problems, do these. So definitely you can follow along now and do number 1, and then you guys should be able to do the next ones. If you guys have actual problems with your credit reports and you need to know more about your credit, please look into my exclusive credit membership. It's $1 trial for that. Also, you can find it at Rickita.com. So definitely check that out. You can see my email address is actually right here. So you can find it at Rickita.com. So let's go over this first one. So the first one is your personal information. So your personal information is very important. I tell people you should really only have one name reported to the credit bureau. So you want to list any names here that shouldn't be here, especially if you want to call the credit bureaus, or you can list the name that you want to be on your credit report. List names you want to be on there, and then call the credit bureaus and tell them to remove all the other names. All those different variations could be a sign of somebody trying to take over your credit. Only the last 4 digits should be displayed on your credit reports. So just list that just to make sure, you guys, if you already know your social security number, you don't have to list it. But if you guys are listening to this, I have a teen course coming up, and they're not going to know their social security number. So they're going to have to write it out to like remember it, basically. So they're going to put the last 4 digits of it here. And if you guys you learning your social security number yourself, you're like, okay, I have to learn I had a number, then put that number here so you can remember it, and make sure that the other bureaus, well, all the bureaus have just this one social security number, not multiple, because I have seen multiple on a credit report. Also, date of births. Do y'all know the credit bureaus can have multiple date of births for you, but you should only have one? So list that here and make sure all these different bureaus that have all these different names, social security number, date of births, and also we're going to go into addresses, employment information. You can actually write a dispute letter telling them to remove it, or you can call them too. Call them and tell them that they need to update this information and they need to remove it. So make sure you only have one date of birth there. Make sure it's the correct date of birth. Sometimes they don't even have your full date of birth. If you were born in November on a certain day, they may just always put the first. Like, they don't actually put a date of birth there for you, or they may only have your year. Make sure they have your full date of birth and it is correct. So your current and previous addresses. I usually say you should only have your current address on there, and that's or an address that's not tied to negative accounts. And that's really for those people that's trying to remove accounts from their credit reports, honestly. But you guys can have previous addresses on there. But when you start having too many addresses, they starting to think that you're just hopping from house to house. And that's when I learned deeper about what they look at into deeper into the credit scores. We don't really know what the algorithm is saying or what it's really doing. But when I was taught like the dark side of credit, they talked about having addresses in bad neighborhoods wasn't good. So if you stayed in the hood before, you might want to remove that address, because they look at that address a certain way, like when their system, when they pulling it in, it's a certain code and they know what type of education is in that area, how much income is in that area. It just look bad, especially if you got an old address. So go ahead and remove those addresses. Any address that's not yours, remove it too. And then with your employment information, if you guys have a possibility of getting sued, understand that they could pull your some of these companies could possibly pull your credit reports if they have the right authorization, and find out exactly where you work at, find out what your address is, and then they'll have the information that they need to sue you and get a garnishment. So that's why I say sometimes with employment information, unless you're really doing good with your credit now, I just don't see a point of having it there. When I apply for a new credit card, that the employment information will be added. Other than that, please remove this. Like, I don't need to have it there. But you want to make sure that you verify that all of your personal information is accurate and up to date. Any discrepancies may indicate errors or possibly identity theft. So look into it. You could possibly have identity theft. So just fill in this worksheet, and if you guys see things that's wrong, contact the credit bureaus and say, hey, I have these different things that's wrong with my credit reports. Now, I'm not going to go over everything. I'm going to skim over everything because this is a detailed worksheet, and I'm a, like, tell me what it is. I'm a more of a visual person, audio. Don't just leave me to read it. Sometimes maybe it's details I'm missing, so I'm going to go over a few of them here. So when it come down to your credit accounts, if you're disputing your accounts, make sure every credit bureaus have the same information. So say if you have a Capital One account, and it's charged off, you try to get it deleted, make sure that the account number is the same on all three bureaus. Make sure the account type is the same. You're filling this information in. And maybe you need to copy this on another piece of paper for all of your accounts too. It's going to take some work, especially if you guys are working to dispute accounts. It's going to take some work, but this worksheet is great for you. And when it comes down to number two, if you guys are in a membership, it doesn't even matter. If the account is positive, just leave it alone. Don't even care about the details. You care about the details if you ever need to get it deleted. Just make sure that it's reporting current, the balance is reporting correctly, so it don't mess up your utilization. It says that it's in good standing or open. It don't have any negative stuff on there. You'll be good. But if you guys are trying to dispute it, make sure, again, the account type, the account number, the date open, the account balance, the credit limit, the original loan amount, basically, and your payment history or the status is all correct. Because if it's not and it's different on all three credit bureaus, then that can be a reason why you can get it deleted. Same thing with these public records. Make sure all your public records are correct, and it should report the same on all three credit bureaus, because guess what, if you had a bankruptcy, that bankruptcy is a bankruptcy, and it has all the, your case number, has everything that's on there. It cannot be different on all three credit bureaus because it's only one bankruptcy. I'm only one Rickita. If you write my name down, you can't call me Rickita, which is sometimes my system call me Rickita. You can't call me Kita, or you can't call me Rickita. My name is Rickita. Period. All three credit bureaus can't have different things. So keep that in mind. When it comes down to your inquiries, you can call to have those inquiries removed. Just call the credit bureaus. Collections are the same thing as with the charge off example for Capital One. Your payment history, just make sure that you don't have any late payments. If you do have late payments, send a goodwill letter. If you guys are inside the credit membership, you guys are going to get a goodwill letter that you guys can send into the credit bureaus. Or if you having us send out letters for you, then we could actually send a goodwill letter out. It teaches you about this guy. It teaches you about your utilization, how to calculate it, which is really nice. That's for number 7. It teaches you how to calculate it. And then your total debt, your debt to income ratio. It actually teaches you that for those people that's trying to buy a house. That's very, very useful. And then also your dispute and your action plan. So you're going to talk about what's your issue, what's the section that has an error, what action are you taking, are you going to dispute it, are you going to contact them, and then your date of your action. This is good for tracking it, especially if you want to sue, like I had to sue Midland. So this is information that you need to know so that you can stay on top of everything. But this is episode 8 of Credit 101. This is the best episode of Credit 101, episode 3. So definitely, we have so much to go. If you guys are only on episode 3, you technically have 30 episodes total where you're going to have different downloadables that you guys can get. And again, it's a dollar trial. You guys can get that down below. If you guys are already in a membership, then go ahead and download these documents right away. And do not, you guys have so much information. I literally put so much information in here. We're talking about credit in general, starting from the bottom. Credit too in general. So much information, especially if you guys don't know about credit. But just take like one step, and then take another step, and take another step. Don't get overwhelmed. Find out what's your top points. I can get approved for a credit card. Find an episode that can help you with that, and just go from there. Okay, now I need to get my money together. So what about this? And what about that? It's different things. So definitely find out which episode is best for you. But this was just episode 3, and I'll see you guys in the next one.